we could have had
no, what you'll do is you'll cancel yours, and then I'll give you the log on for my account.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Can you see us?
You got to hit chat.
Let's see. Hit what?
Did you hit chat so it can appear in the thing?
No. Because it usually appears normally. Where is it? I'm going to let you look at the chat because I don't know where to hit it now.
Yeah, I can't see it.
I'm working backwards. People. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, there's Michael. I see you guys. Can you hear us? Okay, I can see him. Can you see the chat?
No, I can't.
Okay, I got it.
There in the top right, there's this. You got to allow the chat to be viewed because only you see it.
Top right. Is it one with the arrow?
Something like that. I bet everybody's laughing at our ass.
You guys. I don't know, Brad. I don't want to mess it up.
It's all right.
I'll just watch the chat this time.
Okay.
You guys, I'm so sorry. Hopefully everybody can bounce over to this one. And would it be under comment? Brad?
Yeah. Comments.
Okay, now I can't see comments. Live show.
Okay, yeah. Michael says you guys are good to go.
Okay, well, we're going. Okay, well, I'll pay attention to the chats. Okay.
You got to record it though.
What do you mean?
You got to hit record.
Where's that?
I don't know. I don't see your dashboard.
Record.
Because you pulled me on as a guest, basically.
Okay. Recording. Local.
Cool.
Is it good? I don't know. So if I don't record, then it won't show up?
Yeah, it'll just be like a one and done. Whoever sees it right now sees it.
Oh. It's recording is hit. Record local recording. Recording settings are disabled while live. Says it's disabled while live.
Uh-oh. See, this is where I cannot assist because yeah. Everyone's laughing at our ass. And that's okay.
What? Oh no, it's recording. Hold.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
I think it's
progress. It says recording. It says recording in progress.
Good enough for me.
It's all good. Okay. Just the chat will be on my side. So
yep. Y'all,
welcome,
this is like,
everyone, as you bounce over to Unveiling the Truth with Brad and Robin. Had a little hiccup. I guess Robin did something on her end.
She got abducted.
That dislodged us, and who knew? Because I thought I was on Brad's StreamYard, and obviously I have to be on my own also. So we have a really interesting show for you today, podcast, and it is something that I kind of wanted to do. It was going off the book, The Light Barrier, with Elizabeth Claren, or Clare. And I read this book a long time ago, and I actually even channeled it because I wanted to see if it was real or not. And so I kind of got a little bit of information that I can share with you a little bit later on it. Let me just talk about Elizabeth a little bit. I have her little demographics here. So she was born in 1910 and she died in 1994. And she was in South Africa when these events took place in 1956. She started claiming contact with aliens multiple times between 1954 to 1963. Her first visitation allegedly occurred when she was 7. And this man came to her, and his name was 𝐻𝐿, 𝐷𝐿.
I think it's 𝐷𝐿. Yeah. It's not 𝐷𝐿. It looks like 𝐷𝐿. But we don't. It's not the rapper.
That's true. So I think he did, and it was really weird because he was like grooming her for when she was older. I felt, because they picked her, get to know us, feel comfortable around us. I'm going to come back later. I'm going to come back later. Come back later. So let's see. Then when she was a woman, she claimed to have a relationship with this extraterrestrial being. She promoted an idea of a better world and a belief in cosmic consciousness. In her book that I just showed you, Beyond the Light Barrier, she strived to convey a message of peace, love, and understanding, and environmentalism, which none of those are bad, which she credited to the superior wisdom of an advanced and immaculately utopian Venusian civilization. She promoted conspiracy theories. A lot of people, are still up in the air if they believe this is true or not. And so in 1958, a series of contacts reportedly started that set her story apart from the UFO stories. So I guess in this time frame, also other people had seen aircraft. So it wasn't just her that saw the aircraft. I think it was her that met the people on the aircraft, but there's also other neighbors, people around this area that actually did see the craft. And you know what I thought was interesting, because the video I sent you of the 2 boys that were watching, that lived on a farm, that were German, that were watching the aliens that came down, and they couldn't move forward because there was this dome of energy and they couldn't go past the dome. She mentioned the same thing. And she's in South Africa. So she talked about the same thing, is when she was younger, she couldn't move forward because there's this dome of energy stopping her. So I thought that was really interesting, because you have kids.
And that's another narrative we hear with other contact experiences as well, is experiences like that, where it's like a force field kind of blocking them.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was really interesting, because those are 2 different areas of the world with the same story.
Yep. And this is the 50s. So this is like when you don't talk about stuff like this. And she's very adamant and fervent about the whole experience and encounter. And like she doesn't leave details out. She gets personal with it.
She doesn't.
And people who were calling her wacky or whatever, she stood her ground, and she was like, no, this is what happened. It's true. I don't care if you don't believe me or not. Ridicule wasn't an issue. She didn't care what people thought. Let's just say that.
No, because she believed it. And what interested me was she's a well-read, educated woman. She's a meteorologist. And
a pilot.
A pilot. And so why would she make this up?
Good question. In the 50s, when none of this was discussed, even just seeing a craft, why would you go to this detail to explain it in the 50s, where ridicule and shame is going to be a thing there? And this is not even United States. They're in South Africa, so it's a little more controlled. So I think it's Dutch or British rule, but why would you go to that extent, knowing that your reputation, credibility is going to be on the line, and make up a lie like that? I don't think she obviously didn't do it for attention. No. I don't think any experiencer does it for attention. There's a message. There's a message and a mission and an objective for all this.
Yeah, I agree. She and she's a really nice lady. She's just very English or Ukrainian, however. But I thought she was just a really nice person. Dutch? Is she Dutch?
I
And
think
she was
South
actually
Africa
pretty
is usually is Dutch colonized back in the day.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And this gentleman that she met, how did you say his name? You know me.
Akin.
Thank you. Akan.
Something like that.
It's like Star Trek. Akan.
Yeah, he's not your typical.
He's not. No.
Yeah.
Alien.
You want to post a picture of him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here.
He's actually an older gentleman that she portrayed. He had golden hair with gray around the sides. She shows him as kind of wrinkled. Can you show him, or do I need to?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that here.
I got it.
Got it. Okay.
So this is Akan. This is
I mean,
him.
does he look? Do you think he looks good?
He looks sickly, but well, she said he looked older.
Yeah.
But I thought it was weird because she said his eyes were a gray color. Which, how often do you see gray eyeballs?
You don't, and that's very coincidental. I had a conversation at another meeting where there was a statistic about gray eyes being alludes to the genes of a certain typical race of aliens.
Oh, okay. What race is that?
I don't know. Arcturian, I think, or who knows? Yeah, it's rare though. Gray eyes.
My eyes are blue-gray now, but they used to be a blue. When I was interested on his suit, we were talking about that, Brad and I, is the Star of David. That because she's I think I did. If she's an artist that she did this, I'm not sure.
I think so. I think she did do some of the visuals. Yeah, she was a pianist, an artist, meteorologist. I mean, she had a whole realm of intelligence and talent.
Yeah. And so he just looks kind of weathered, older. And it was so funny because he did read her mind, because he took her on the craft.
He did.
And then he took her to a mothership that was huge, she said. It was like a planet. It was huge like a planet. But she said it was cigar-shaped. And it was very interesting what she said was inside of it. It was like a terrarium. It was plants and waterfall. And she says there's flowers and trees, and there's blue grass. And the atmosphere had high oxygen content to it. So in my channelings on the Blue Star, which is a pyramid shaped craft, I've seen that. And it was like in the center of the ship, this like forest, like a rainforest. And I felt that
the colors were vivid like that too.
Yeah, it was just a rainforest. It was just very humid. And that's how they kept everything, like their skin kept soft. And it was like what she said, the oxygen content. That's how they kept everything because I felt that in space, everything's really drying. It dries, it sucks out.
It's cold. Yeah, it's cold and dry. Yeah, exactly.
And so I felt that that this was for a reason, that they had this kind of ecosystem in their ships for a reason, for their sustainability, I think, to keep everything the same.
It makes sense. I mean, otherwise you're going to be vacuumed out and hollowed out, and you're going to look, well, sickly. You're going to look like you're going to look your age, like him, right? This
it's getting a little weathered.
You hear about these, it's like, and this is one of these. It reads like an old romance style novel. I mean, now, first of all, this is an autobiographical book or memoir that she wrote.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
this is not a third party perspective. It's not a ufologist investigation piece.
No.
This is definitely an autobiographical piece that she wrote specifically about the encounters. And
There you go.
she's just very taken by this guy, and there's a creepy aspect about it that I was like, okay. She starts to have memories as far back as 3 years old, and Aachen was saying that I've watched you your entire life, but I guess he waited until she was
mature.
Yes, mature to.
He was of pregnancy age.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, well, at least he waited. and I mean,
she would have been.
Yeah,
that would have been wrong on so many levels.
Oh my God. And it was consensual cosmic contact. So there was no space roofie or drugged out, and it was consensual, and she welcomed it and wanted more.
Well,
that's true. It's like, it's like he's flying around in his ship. I landed for the free cattle, but I'll stay for you.
Here, little girl, come to my ship.
So come on. We can go back to my ship, my place, and we can
go to your ship.
Yeah, we can bend space time. No one's going to see us because I have cloaking technology, so no one's going to know.
And then we'll go to another ship that's even more of it.
Yeah. Yep. Then I'll really take you to my penthouse in the sky.
Okay. So a little bit about this gentleman here. She said he had the gray eyes, golden hair. He was about 6'4". He was an older man. And she said he could read my thoughts and then replicate it. And so that's what's dangerous about this, is they can read your thoughts. And she was thinking, oh, I would love him to pick me up and swoop me off my feet. I'm so in love with him. And so he did. And she's going, oh, it's like Gone with the Wind, And
exactly. Gone with the Wind. Perfect analogy.
And so she fell in love with him, and she said he fell in love with her. But how can aliens really fall in love? He had an agenda. This guy had an agenda.
I think they all have an agenda. And it's one of those things where I always go back to the phenomenon and the archetype fashion of it. They appear how they want you to see them. Because there's other cases where there were sexual contact, but it was not welcomed or later became welcomed, and they didn't look like this guy. It was weird. She loved it.
Well, this guy just looks totally human. Totally human.
He does.
And she said he's from Venus, and she said from a long time ago, and that was their original planet, but it died. She said.
Yes.
And so all the people had to get onto the ships and start figuring it out. And I wonder if they were alien species. And it's so interesting that they always talk about their planets being in our system. It's so interesting. And then it died. So why did it die? What happened? Was there war? Was this something, with the sun? How does a planet die? If it's healthy on the outside, did the people make it die?
Was it attacked?
I thought that was very interesting that it made. She said it died, and so
that is weird because the Venus connection. Again, it's not the first time we hear Venus. No. George Adamski in the 50s had contact and apparently consensual cosmic encounters with Venusians as well, and he spoke of Venus too, and she speaks of Venus, and it's like, what's going on with the planet Venus?
But also she said it the romantic story of an encounter between a South African woman and a man from Meton, Meton, a planet in Proxima Centauri. So Proxima Centauri, wouldn't that be past Venus? I mean, it wouldn't be like Venus is
the closest planet to Earth.
Yeah.
Other than Mars was the next closest planet to Earth.
So I just thought that was just, I feel there's other Venuses out there. I mean, it's not just.
And again, maybe they say Venus because that is a planet most humans are familiar with and knows exist.
That's true. That's true. Okay, this is her book. And so that's another picture of him. So I think she said she was like in her 40s when they consummated their relationship. She got pregnant. And so she was, I think she was, I'm not sure. I think she was married by this time.
She's been married 3 times.
Okay. And so then she was, what I saw is that she got pregnant right before she had her baby. They took her back on ship and she had her baby on ship.
Right.
And then
that's
somehow,
how it works.
Yeah. Then they say, then that somehow they convinced her to leave the baby. It was a boy. Leave this boy with us. And you go on your way because he can't, he's half me, half you, and he can't survive on Earth. I think they're trying to say. And of course they're doing mind control because you know that was their goal, is to take the child.
It's always continuity of species is the underlying theme to a lot of these contact cases, whether they're these beautiful romantic stories. And I think that is also, like you said, it's a mind control aspect of it that they set up the narrative and the arc of the story because they've got you as the contactee who's going to be the one we chose, but we need you to kind of go with it. So we're going to make this guy appear the way he appears and a charmer and this and that, as opposed to say Whitley Strieber's case where he was just taken and his sperm was taken without his consent. But oddly enough, later on, in other books, he discusses the female gray is another wife of his. I mean, his wife passed, but he's been on a live stream saying, these are the 2 wives I had, the 2 women in my life. His wife died of cancer a while back, but he still considers the gray that he had encounters with as a second wife. So there's something there that's hypnotizing or enchanting about these interstellar beings that captivates people to where they want more. And I think it's also the like you said, the underlying plan is we have an agenda. We need your genetics.
Yeah.
So if you go along with it and I charm you and you don't kick and scream, then it's going to be easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so you know that they have an agenda, and so they know how to manipulate to get to that agenda, which is really kind of scary because it's like, how do you break that mind control when someone just allures you? And how many people say that they've had relationships with out of this world species? There's a lot of people.
Quite a few.
I mean, I don't think I would ever tell a soul if I thought I'm sorry. Maybe on this earth, I thought I had some out of body experiences, but not.
I may be picky, with whom I choose to date, but I like my women human,
grounded,
human.
Yes.
But yeah, there's again. It's Howard Manger's another one in the 50s. He had a hottie from outer space named Marla. David Huggins, who we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah,
there's so many of them out there. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I guess I was just intrigued with this because this was really my first book on someone having a relationship with an alien, and his hair is cut and it's combed back so nicely, and I
He has
don't
hair.
know.
He has hair.
Huh?
Most of them don't have hair.
Well,
Most aliens don't have hair.
you know, if you would give us a Pleiadian, you know, my mind, Pleiadians have long hair. I just
and Nordics.
Yeah, and I just thought. So this is from EC 9794. It reminds me a little of the Taken, this miniseries in the 1990s. It's not the exact story, but it starts with a Roswell crash, and the Earth woman has an affair with an alien.
Yep. I remember that show.
I don't think I saw that. I don't watch TV, so I don't know shows.
90s. You probably watched TV in the 90s.
I probably did, but I don't remember. But I thought this was interesting. And also, too, can I just say some bullet points?
Please.
She talked about when she went on the mothership that they ate salad, that they produced food out of water, this water system, and they said it would regenerate itself immediately, the fruit and the lettuce. And they actually even put like a type of dressing or something on the salad. I thought that was very interesting. She said it had a great flavor. And she said the food didn't just feed their bodies, it fed their mind.
Yeah.
So it must have delivered
and they're
something.
Spiritual. Yeah, it delivered everything because they're very spiritually inclined species. So it's a rejuvenation process. The Arcturians, supposedly, what I've read, have something similar, like they call it the rejuvenation well, and it's something similar like that, where they've got to basically repower the batteries. Yeah.
Because you hear of some of them taking pills, like there's pills, you know, like we did in our first, also. And I've heard the pills before. But then I thought the link that I showed you of the little boys that met those aliens that kind of looked all alike, nice handsome men, that looking at the ground, the ecosystem of this area, and they had a bathroom. That threw me that they showed these boys the bathroom in the UFO. So that shows
it was
you
probably for them. Yeah, it's probably for, we don't need to use the bathroom because they
You think it was for the boys?
Of course.
Oh, okay. I thought okay.
I mean, again, it goes to making all of this a familiar thing for people. You know, like the Greys, supposedly they secrete their waste and whatever. That's why apparently they stink. But they don't need, most of them don't need a bathroom. They don't need a commode or a urinal or whatever. So this is all making it familiar. So, okay, they've got a bathroom, they got a shower in here, they got a salad bar. You know what I mean? So
they got a tropical little trees and stuff in it, ecosystem.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
She actually also, this was very interesting. And then I want to hit on a bullet point that her actual son on Earth talked about. Is she was praised by a German scientist, and I don't know if it was Russian or not, because she talked great lengths of the gravity and the propulsion system of the ship, and it was clean electricity and it was silent, and she really went in depth, I guess, in another book and drawing it.
Missing.
Yeah. And so that went real in depth. But her son, after her death, found in her own handwriting the actual first book of this.
Oh.
That's on here. And it's different. She doesn't talk about having a child in that first book, which that could be, being a writer myself, she could have said, maybe I shouldn't put that in there. You know, maybe that's too much. I have a son. I want to protect him. Maybe that's too much to talk about having, relationships with an alien and having a baby and leaving my baby with him. And she actually said that she met up with her alien son later. Did you hear that or read that?
Yeah. And he's a
what
pilot,
they were
right?
doing to him?
No.
He was a stud.
Oh,
and that's not a good looking stud. They used him
Yes.
as replenishing their species as half alien, half human. And that's all they
That's what it's
wanted
all
him
about.
for, is that.
They pimped him out.
protection.
They hit on her,
Pimped him out.
created him,
Poor
and they
guy.
pimped him out. And so it's like, you know, and it's
And is that
this
nice?
is-
No.
yeah, it's 50 Shades of a Tall Gray. And it's like
Hey, a new book.
a new book, 50 Shades of Tall Gray. And because he's a hybrid, so he's got some of her looks in there. So I'm sure, you know, and
Yeah.
she was pretty a woman when she was younger.
Yeah, she was.
So a continuity of species. This is what it is.
Yeah, I thought that was very sad. Because she said he looked very
Yeah.
sad. And
Well, yeah,
that would just rip my heart out. I would say, he's staying with me. Done with you people. I will shoot you all if you don't leave my son with me. You
I
know?
don't think it works like that, but he
I
probably
know.
does look sad because he's having to
He has no
be
life.
a gigolo, and he doesn't want to be a gigolo. He wants to be a pilot, and he can't.
Well, and he has human emotions involved
Yep.
with him. He's not just an alien with no just high intelligence. He actually has the human, so he would have the moods, you know,
Mhm.
of that. So I thought that was very, very interesting. And I think that's all I have on her. Do you have anything else you want to say?
On 𝘓𝘁𝑦𝑒, the overall relationship with this, I mean, this goes back to one of the things that I always bring it from an analytical perspective and try to kind of, again, we don't push a belief system here. You can believe it if you want. You
No.
don't have to. It's all perspective. We're not trying to persuade or proselytize or whatever. But I mean, this overall, I think when people and experiencers in general, and our last guest, who fine gentleman and who is on his mission and purpose, Mr. Jeff Selver, said it.
Mhm.
There is the blowback at first when you go public. And yes, there's ridicule. Yes, it can affect the psychology and emotions and in your interpersonal dynamics. But you know it's true in your heart because it is true. You have to believe the experiencer, just like John Mack has been saying in his books before he passed.
Yeah.
And it's like if you don't suspend your belief system and at least put it in perspective, then you're always going to be stuck in your programmed thought. And there are people who make stuff up, but those can be easily filtered out if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But she stays true to her story, and she never
doesn't waver.
over embellishes it. It doesn't waver. It doesn't change. There's no new fact in there. And all of them are the same way. As far as experience or cases go, they're all the same. Even people who worked in the projects who quote unquote worked on the technology, like Bob Lazar, his story has never changed.
Oh, whoops.
And he hasn't made contact. So yeah, I believe it's true.
I do believe, but what makes me sad about this, because, you know, I'm a channeler and I've done many benevolent races, is that just when I channeled her on my show, she realized that she was taken advantage of. She couldn't see it then. He made her fall in love. It was just a whole mind control that they were able to do. He read her mind. He became exactly what she wanted. And and he said to her exactly what she wanted to hear. He was kind and gentle. But, you know, it reminds me of the movies, like a vampire movie.
Oh,
like, here's this handsome man. He lures the woman in. It's all like, woo, I can't wait to be with him. And then you start going for it. And then he goes, and he gets your neck. And I swear, maybe he doesn't really look like that. Maybe he placed in her mind a father figure, or a handsome man, trust
sophisticated,
me, lean on me. Yeah. And I'm high intelligent, but maybe he doesn't look like that. Maybe he looks like a gray. Maybe he's really a gray. And he put that persona, because look at the halo behind him. He always had this little halo thing. And so maybe that's like a hologram. You don't know. And
You
when we
don't
get into
know.
the next,
And yeah, and there was one case that where it was a man, I think Truman Bethurum, I forgot. It was in the early 50s as well. And it got to the point where it caused a divorce because the wife was jealous over this lover, Aura Reigns, that he had ongoing contact with. So yeah, it's a thing.
Well, that would be difficult. It would be difficult if your husband says, I'm having another life with another woman. She's not from this planet, so it's okay. I mean, really, really, honey, do you really have to do this to me? You know, can't you just wait?
Yeah,
I don't know.
At least don't tell me about it.
Well, you know, obviously the alien texting him, you know. I don't know. I just thought that it would really be a hard one because I do believe that this is happening. I do believe people get abducted all the time. And I do believe some are volunteer to be abducted and some are not. I do believe some people that are abducted, they have the choice before they come down on this planet. Do you want to remember or do you not want to remember? And I think, I think some of us just, and I feel like I've been one, but I think I'm a volunteer. And that I said, don't want to remember.
Yeah.
Don't want to remember. And it's not like this, but I just feel that it's happening. And I don't know, do you remember, what is that show of the two investigators,
X-Files
and Mulder? What is that? Yeah,
X-Files.
So you remember their very last show, the very last show?
Oh God,
because it stopped and then it came back for a while and then they had the very last show. Well, the very last show showed the involvement of the United States government.
Oh yeah, that's no surprise.
In the abduction. And I thought, you know, how is that? Could very well be. Well, maybe you're not on a ship. Maybe you're on Earth.
That is the topic of the MyLabs in the special access programs. That's another one. It's like a giant thought out setup to where the experimentation is, you think you're on a ship with a gray or whatever, but it's really biological, psychological, whatever type of experimentation with military and governments on humanity for whatever. Which is even, I don't know if that's scarier than really being abducted or not, because
I think it is scarier.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah, that's wow. I don't want to remember.
That's why I don't want to remember. Okay, so the next slide, you want to go on the next case?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Brad's gonna start on this one.
Oh, David Huggins. This guy this one is really special because
this one embarrassed me a little bit.
Yes, it did. He lost his virginity apparently to this this gray that you see there. Her name, I think it was Crescent. And they all have names. They all have names. And that's another thing that kind of should be I don't know if it's a red flag or whatever, but typically they don't have names. They have frequencies because names aren't needed. Names are basically identities.
Do you think they give the human a name just to have a
reference? Yeah, I think so, because amongst themselves they don't call each other by names. They have a resonance and a frequency that they read. And this guy here, I think he's in his 80s now, but he describes his whole contact since I believe 8 years old. And
see, they start young.
See, again, good point. That's another bullet point.
They target the young and then they groom them. It's a grooming thing.
Age 3 with Elizabeth Clare, 8 years old with little David here. And at least with Elizabeth, she had already had a child, so she was not a virgin, but David was a virgin.
David was, what was he, 15, 14, 15?
Yeah, 15 or something like that.
19. And I was talking to Brad, and I'm going, okay, I don't know if we're showing this, but she has a female body, a muscular, potent female body, and then look at her face. That would so scare me. I wouldn't look up at her and go, you know, just like, oh, again, honey, you are not pretty.
Yeah. Again, I like my women
the
human.
rest of it, it's just like the body was too. So this is where I'm saying is, what if that is just a gray? The whole thing is a gray, and they thought, well, from here down is what all he cares about. So we're gonna make it a female body.
I was thinking that it was like, hey, if you know, a young testosterone-filled young man only cares about the neck down, and they use mind control and some type of entrancement hypnosis to get them to comply, he's not going to care about what the face looks like. But the eyes right there in that picture, he says they're like blue. I forgot that he gave him a name, but that's basically what entranced him. And then the rest, of course, was like his dream woman, you know, his type. No, it's true. I mean, that's how it is. They appear how they know you're going to accept them or desire them. It's psychological and emotional, and how they get into your mind like that is just a technology in itself. But again, he fell in love. I mean, there's a whole gamut of story here where he's learning things and going on dates and meeting up with her. And then you start to see the mantids in the background.
Yes, the mantis scene, which was very, and he was always observing their interaction. I'll say.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in the room all the time?
All the time.
He wanted, I feel like the mantis being was there because he wanted to make sure that she got pregnant, that it was, you know, okay, this is good. Now let's bring you back and get you, you know, situated.
And that's another repetitive theme is the mantids are kind of like the overseers or the directors, kind of, you know, the scientists, so to speak, the medical people, making sure everything goes according as planned. And it's like, okay, yep, you're doing it right. Okay, you got to be a little more sexy. You know, it's like a porno shoot. You know, be louder, make him more turned on, or whatever it is. And he was always in the room. And apparently, David didn't care. So I don't know if there's a voyeur aspect of it that he didn't care about, but it was consensual though. It's consensual.
Yeah. And they were working with energy. So he said when he was having the relationship with her that when he ended his desire, he said it was kind of energy and painful at the same time. So that's very interesting. What he said that, so if it was painful to, you know, why would you want to do it again? Because he did it again and again and again and again. But I think that they had an energy, and it was probably a type of euphoric feeling that probably no man has ever experienced before, you know? So you wouldn't care that he looks scary and like a bad movie.
Yeah, that would scare the shit out of me. You know, you're not going to turn me on
no
if I see that.
Be saying I love you to that.
Yeah, there's no way. I was like, look, it ain't happening tonight, okay? Because you're freaking me out. And again, that's where that hypnosis and that mind control aspect come into it. Because then she's like, well, let me take the blue robe off, and then you'll like it, and you'll just use my eyes to do the rest. And again, he was used for genetics.
Yes. And they had, and I do feel that, you know, she's probably gray, because they always have these black hair with bangs and straight down like a Dutch bob. You
Bad
hear a lot of
haircut.
people talking about the Dutch bob. And I thought, is that real hair, or is that, because I used to be a hairdresser, and I go, or is that a wig on a bald alien. So it makes them a little bit more attractive. I guess
That's another thing.
Aesthetics,
Travis Walton's experience. He talked about when he was on the ship. He saw the Greys or whatever, and then he saw two human-looking people that had the blonde bad haircuts, and I guess it was to make something familiar as human. So I think that they need a better job with the hairstyle and the face. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're not. So, okay, so if you can give him an illusion of a woman's body, an actual woman's body, why can't you give an illusion of your face? Why did they stop at the face? Is it because they had to use the eyes as control, so they couldn't put a mask on over the face? Or
that's a good point, because 𝐿 didn't have a gray head, a head of a gray.
No, nothing. And so this guy, and this what's his name, Huggins, he painted. He's an artist.
Yes,
David Huggins,
all the stuff you see right now is his work. Yep.
Full experience. And so that's actually probably really close to what this thing looked like. And I feel sorry, because he felt very special with this event throughout his life. And he went willingly, and come to find out, what's the next one look like? Let's see. Okay. Oh, there's the mantis being in the corner. And so that looks like a really bad movie. Look at her eyes.
Yes,
that
it looks
is like the scariest thing.
It's like The Exorcist. It is. I know we're laughing. We're laughing and joking, and I mean, but we're serious. But we're serious. We do have to take into account that these are experiences from people, and the trauma aspect behind it is not to be taken lightly for humor. I mean, I know we're being funny with it, but honestly, if anybody else was in this position and they had these memories, and later on having to grapple with that for the rest of your third dimensional human life, is not an easy life to live.
And this man, it was his life. It was kind of his, I don't think, he did marry. He has a son, right? He did. This gentleman did marry.
I think so. Yeah, he married later in life, and is a simple guy in New York. I mean,
and this was a whole life of his, because this went on for a while, didn't it?
Yes,
and he had dozens and dozens and dozens of babies that
he had a lot of them. Yes.
Okay, and so you did have these little Greys, and so. It's very interesting what he said about the little Greys, because it's kind of what I said, that they were the workers, and they probably had no soul. And so they were kind of probably an organic, robotic thing. And so they did all the tasks and stuff, these little Greys. And so he had contact. And I found another weird thing. This is a perfect picture of this, is she had fingernails.
Yes. Like, weird. They look like talons, really.
I know. This is I would be so scared. I would be so scared. And he somehow, and look at how he's looking right in her eyes, and she's looking at him eye to eye. She's focused on his eyes to control him.
Yep. Well, that's another thing. I mean, Whitley Strieber said it. When you look into the eyes, it's almost those are a cover to something beneath it. So apparently, like, that's not their real. Yeah, a lens. There you go, a lens. And behind it is their real eyes. And Whitley Strieber, one of his books, he does have an artist portrayal of the Grey in her natural eyes, and they do look kind of human. But the lens and what they're doing with it is what captures your attention, so it draws you to them. Because what's the first thing you look at when you see a Grey? They're big, dark black eyes. And once you lock it with that, that's it. There you go.
Yeah. And always the mantis being, which is the observer. I think the mantis being is there to make sure the task is done and completed, and then takes her back and does what they need to do. So let's see.
Yeah.
So those little grays came and would get him periodically too.
Oh,
and so this is the babies.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about this one.
Well, it doesn't look like him.
Nope.
Didn't take after him. So
does that kid look like you?
That, that's not my kid.
No child support from me.
He said that the children that he saw, because she said, "This is your child, but it's dying." She goes, your child's dying. And he says, "Let me see my child." And she goes, "No, you can't see your child." He goes, "Let me see my child." So I believe this is the interaction that he had with the child. And he looked at this child and he actually touched it with his hands because it was like dying. And because it wasn't successful union with this type of species in a human, but it somehow the mantis helped it evolve, incubated these babies so they were born, but then outside the womb they were having a hard time. So when this David, did you say his name?
David Huggins.
David, when he touched the child, something about the energy of him, the child kind of came back to life. It shocked them. It shocked this alien species that he touched the child, and I guess this lady, this alien, was not holding the child correctly. He goes, "You don't hold a child like that. You cradle it." So he's teaching this alien species how to take care of the children, how to, and then he learned how to breastfeed it. And I go, well, if it's not a real body, it's not. I mean, what's this child eating? You know, I don't know how that worked out, but he had to show him everything.
Yeah, half human. You're going to need, you would think that there's going to be an aspect of that, a life form that's going to need human nourishment. So, and another thing is like, yeah, she doesn't know how to hold the kid because that's not what they do. And when they're trying to do this continuity of species, that's another running theme is they bring the humans back to see their kids and they observe to see the emotional connection and tie with them so that when they do eventually come to the age and they go out and to wherever it is they travel to, that emotional aspect is going to be there. And again, this goes back to other cases that I've researched where the grays and most interstellar beings in general aren't polarized. They only know one emotion and one train of thought. So they don't have the spectrum of emotions that we do. So in order to continue the species, in order to be successful, that's why they're so interested in humans, because that emotional aspect, and they're trying to maybe get souls or soul development, spiritual development, and have that back in their species, because before they can't reproduce. They're looking for continuity, and you need to procreate.
That's a good point. So if you're half human, half alien, is there a soul? Because you're really not God made. How does this happen? I mean, where's God into all this? That's what I don't understand. So does it have a soul? Because it's two species put together. And so anyway, after, I don't know if you have a picture of this, after this situation, he touched the child and the child kind of came alive. The mantis being came up and looks at the baby and it's like moving around and stuff, and then looks at him and then looks at, he just touched it. So he goes, the mantis being goes, "Come on, follow me." And so then, do you have a picture of that?
I'm not sure. I don't know what the next slide is.
Oh,
if there is another slide. Is there another slide?
I don't think we have it.
You froze.
Yeah. So anyway, so he goes back into another room. The mantis being takes him to another room, and oops, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of babies.
It's a farm.
Yep. And so the mantis being says, okay, these babies aren't doing good. So you touch that baby and it came back to life. So he laid his hand on each child to bring it back to life. And then he was teaching them the species on how to take care of babies. So he taught them. So I thought, well, that's very, interesting that he would do that. I would be mortified that you would see this. And they all looked alike. At least that's what he drew.
Mm-hmm.
But then he would go back on board, and he would have more relations with not just one. They would just be doing the
it's like it's a brothel.
Doing the outtake. They can make more babies. So
it's a farm. We're going to take your genetics and create gigolos.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So Brad, how do I exit out of this?
Just go to the bottom view where the two screens side by side are.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, let's go this way. I don't want to be so big. So I thought that was just and this gentleman, I watched his documentary, and he's very fervent. And he's a really nice guy. And all his friends believe him.
Yeah.
And so he has lots of children out there if they survived. So
and that's another running theme is there are others who say the same thing. They've got space babies, and some of them, the contact with, when you hear the feminine side of it, when the David Huggins, but the female, it would be a female.
Mm-hmm.
When they see their offspring, they're more emotional, and I think that's
the offspring or the people get emotional.
When they see the people get emotional when they see their hybrid babies that were taken out of the womb. So, and that's the thing with the females. It's like, oh, okay, I'm pregnant. Before the second trimester starts, they're taken again, and it's removed, and everything's fine, and then you go back and see your baby. And of course there's that, I think it's a feminine energy. That maternal instinct is there. It's stronger than a male's energy connection with a child. And they're much more involved, and they're more emotional, and they feel the loss more so than the men do. Yeah.
Yeah. So it brings us back to, is this actually up in space happening, or is it down upon our planet happening?
Oh God.
Such a good question, because you don't know. When you're taken into one craft and then you're transferred to another, that other craft could be in the hangar, military hangar, or where the military and these alien species are working together to procreate a species or manufacture, etc., etc., etc.
What do you think?
I think both.
I would say both as well.
I think there's species that are dying off, and we are a race that's kind of strong, maybe. And I would think, why do they pick our race? Because we're so emotional, we're so volatile. We're not really that strong.
We're very resilient.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And we're God-made.
Yeah, exactly. That too. And we always rely on primal instinct for survival. And that's generally when you take a human from their environment, put them in another environment, they find a way to survive instead of just standing there and getting eaten or hunted or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So what other cases?
I would want the human, I would want human genetics because of that.
Well, look at also when.
Yeah.
The same kind of thing. They took him to their planet. There's several humans there that were kind of in the ozone. And then they basically didn't want him because he had a vasectomy. He was
and so they can't
sterile,
I guess. Yeah, I can't. Yep.
So they brought him back. Well, that's nice. They brought him back.
Yeah. What's his name? Oh God, Higdon. Carl Higdon.
Yeah.
He's somebody I mean, strong, tough guy, military, combat veteran, knows how to survive anywhere, resilient, very stoic. So same thing with David Huggins. I mean, he was a down-to-earth, grounded man. He wasn't one of these maniacal, egotistical, warmongers.
Yeah.
And that's what they want.
And we're easy to mind control, which is bizarre because even also when to Carl Higgins, he says, "Hey, are you hungry?" He goes, "No, but yeah, you want a pill? Okay."
And
you
they
come on my
floated.
ship? Okay. It's just like, that's mind control. That's not because he's saying, "I want to go on your ship and see where you're going to take me." Because I have a family.
It's hard. Yeah, we can't say it's consensual at that point. I mean, when you're psychologically compromised, they do that here. I mean, there are people that I've heard where there's cases. Chase Hughes talks about it where hypnosis is used to and essentially rob people. There was a woman who was charged and convicted. I forgot the case, but she would go up, hypnotize the person, and they would hand over. Yeah, they'd hand over whatever cash and stuff in their wallet or purse.
Wow.
Yeah, and she was followed, and they had to build up a lot of stuff on her to charge her. But yeah,
that's crazy. That's
very.
And then, so if that is a human doing that to a human, our military can do that.
Oh God, voice to skull technology is targeted individuals is a big thing right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a technology where you can essentially control the mind of somebody on the other side of the planet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Which it's really scary for all of us. You have to be on guard quite a bit.
Yes. And the way to adapt to that or circumvent that from happening to you, you need one of the things that Chase Hughes talks about it. Oh God, what's his name? Hecker, the guy in Antarctica, talks about it. Is it goes back to as an oracle, know thyself.
Mm-hmm.
That was what was on Apollo's the temple, engraved in the temple.
In Delphi.
Know thyself. Yeah. And meaning you really need to know yourself.
Yeah.
Drop the identity and ego, go within and be grounded in your humanity and your divinity. Those are the hardest ones to manipulate.
Yeah.
Everybody else who's distracted, we got you.
Yeah.
It's funny how something so ancient is still relevant today and still works and can combat mind control, psychological warfare, manipulation, narcissism, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you know thyself and you are that grounded of an individual, you are least likely to be manipulated and controlled.
And it's very
Oracles
difficult.
know that. Yep. Yeah. Definitely.
Because how many people, that's why society keeps us busy in other arenas. That's why we have these cell phones that we keep our face in and just scroll all day long. It's just mindless. Mm-hmm. Really, does that help your life in the long run when you look at all these things? And Brad's really good. He's not on half the social media. And the only reason I am is for, selling stuff.
Yeah.
But
but you can control it. You don't use it. You're not numbed out like a zombie all day on it.
That's true. You can control it. Some people don't. Yeah. You have new generations that are being trained to stay on phones, stay on media. Their whole lives now, this new generation is all visual.
They're
how often
numbed.
do they, remember when we were young, we'd go out and ride our bikes until, dinner time or before you go to bed or something.
Mm-hmm.
At least that was my era.
No, it was mine too. I don't want to come back home actually because it was so fun.
I know. And I would have curlers in my hair. Like I'd have bath and my mom put my hair up in curlers and I want to go back out riding my bike with all my friends.
Yeah.
And so we're riding our bikes with curlers in our hair, curlers in our hair. But those were the days. I mean, we didn't have anything else that was, we created our own entertainment.
Let's say we had cell phones then. Do you think we would still be, I guess, compromised?
I'm so glad I didn't have social media growing up because I was so shy.
Oh,
and
God, me
if
too.
someone would have posted, like, did you see Robyn's hair today? She looked like a butt. That would have destroyed me, and then all my friends going, oh, I know, I can't stand her or whatever, stuff like that. You have a generation that they feel that they can just say anything from behind the screen. And we get that from, people too, being in front of the camera. But it's just a whole new arena. And I think I'm very glad I missed that, because I think it would have been really hard on me.
And it is there. You hear the cases where young kids as young as like 9, 10, 11 years old unalive themselves because of it. And they don't, that type of manipulation right there. You are at a vulnerable age in those developmental years of adolescence. And it is so sad when that is, because you don't have the brain development to be able to cope with that. Your prefrontal cortex technically isn't fully developed till you're like 25 years old. So even in, your early 20s, you don't really know as much as you think, and it's sad. So an alien doesn't need a cell phone. Apparently they've got their own tech, and that is scary in itself, when you don't even need a phone to control anyone, to where you have that voice to skull technology, to where I can trigger your switch from another country and make you do and say whatever. And there are people who I've actually talked to a couple of people who what they call targeted individuals, and it's a big thing. And the voice to skull technology, where they constantly hear voices. You're going to go to jail. You're going to go to prison if you don't do this, dude. I mean, we're going to run these. They hear this stuff, and of course they know that I didn't do any of that shit. Why am I going to go? I know I didn't
people
do
that
it.
are arrested on mass murders say, I had voices in my head. The ones that go into the schools and stuff. I heard voices in my head.
Yes.
How many times have you heard that? And actually, remote viewing is real. And I actually had someone from another state remote view me. I think I told you.
You told, yeah.
And I actually could see the face of the person remote viewing me. So it was like a two-way mirror, where I was looking at him, he was looking at me, and it shocked him that I could see him. And so it was so hard to shut that person away. I know exactly what they're going with, but that was pretty bizarre that they are. And it wasn't, I said, are you from, are you military? What are you? Why are you, and they were interested in me at one time because of the Sasquatch and stuff.
Right.
But he was not military. They're third party. And they were like looking at me like to maybe join them because of the ability I have.
There are those too, third party think tanks. Yeah.
Yeah. And it took a while to push that out and to close him down. But it was really weird because I could it was like a computer screen, me looking like here, and then you're looking at me, and we're looking at each other. And he was shocked that I could see him because I started talking to him.
You wasn't expecting that. Yeah. And
So,
0.2488 in the chat says, from what I understand, they are seeking human DNA, the aliens, likely due to the decline of their own species. Absolutely. And it goes on to say, additionally, their cognition operates as a collective hive mind rather than an individual consciousness. That is a good point. I didn't even think about that. Again, remember how I said they go on frequencies, not names or identities? So collectively, they operate as a unit and even their
Yeah.
craft are apparently. 𝐾𝐿 said they developed the craft from energy in space.
Yes.
And they spin it to manifest it and build it. So that's why there's no nuts and bolts or rivets.
Because Elizabeth did say that they told her, they had her lean her head back, and one guy put his hand on her head and told her to visualize what you see. And she saw the system that they're going through. And so I'm sure the energy of everybody had to focus maybe to where they're going on a target, but I thought that was very interesting, because we know that crafts are made organically. Some crafts are made organically for a specific entity, person, whatever they are, and they can be organically made. So the person walks in, they just use their mind, and it's like skin.
It's alive. It's alive. And that's what Beyond the Light Barrier, that's part of the title, is they use and manipulate the light energy to create the spacecraft. So that's how advanced they are. And then the conscious, like alive crafts, we were talking about this the other day somewhere, and the arcs that we're hearing about that are under the waters all over the world apparently are the same way. And even some the special access program people who whistleblowers have come forward and said they've gone onto these arcs and it feels alive.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have words to describe it. It's like you go in there and it's like it's living, and it's got a certain scent. It's not a bad scent, but it's like alive.
Interesting.
Yeah, once you go in there, you know it's an organic, conscious, energetic space. So I don't even know how to describe something like that. They don't even know how to describe something like that. So imagine how advanced they are if they're creating and building these things. And then as 3D humans, we get to go aboard. We're like, we don't even know how to wrap our heads around that.
No. And I think that's why they show us limited information, because we can't understand it. And like, I think Elizabeth, I just lost my train of thought.
Clara.
Yeah, no, I was gonna, can't remember what I was gonna say now. It was on that.
We're talking about the remote viewing.
No, it's about the spaceships too, because in the Benevolent, my book, I channeled a guy that actually makes the spaceships, on a planet system, and he even talked about the skin of the spaceship. He put pores in it, and it has pores to and those are kind of like feelers, like sensories, and it helps the craft move. And so I thought that was very interesting that some of the crafts.
I remember that. Yeah, you also did on Patreon a channel. Yeah. I listened to that, the shipbuilders, and so that is crazy that you can create another life form.
This is what I was going to say. Yeah, that she said that they're millions of years in advanced technology.
God, yeah.
And that the ships that came down here, she called them, they were older ships. They weren't like brand new ships. They were like vintage to them. That these aren't the new ships. These are vintage ships that they are flying here.
So when we get the crash retrieval, the crash retrieval program everyone's aware of, the stuff that the military and governments are retrieving are the jalopies, the outdated things. Yeah. Well, to them it's outdated, and to us it's way advanced because it manipulates gravity and does everything else. Yeah. So they're only going to give us, they're not going to give us the new stuff. Just like the CIA's tech is way ahead of us now by, it's said, over 100+ years. So I can't even imagine like AI is great. The AI we have, the AI that clandestine governments have, is probably insane.
You mean like Elon has?
Elon has, the CIA, it's unreal.
Yeah, I can't figure that guy out.
Advanced. He's a brainiac.
Good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. I can't. He goes back and forth. I can't. I don't know. 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 I can't target him to what he is doing and why he's doing it. I think, like you said, he's doing off-planet system for the AI, and that's what he's targeting, is off-planet. That's why he's doing all that stuff, but not to take over like the United States and stuff. I think he's more interested in going out.
He realizes that we need to colonize and move outwards because Earth is, I think he knows it, and the writing's on the wall as our population continually grows and we see what's happening. He knows that we need to start thinking about colonizing outward if humanity is going to survive. And he's kind of not, that's not a very overzealous statement, because it's kind of what it looks like is going to happen if we don't get our stuff together. 0 point being my understanding that the spacecraft utilize a plasma-based medium, right, exhibiting characteristics consistent with sentience, possibly bio-integrated forms of intelligence. Absolutely. Yes, Brett, I agree. The military has the leftover old tech of the light beams. I think so, for sure. I mean, that goes back to Roswell even before.
Yeah.
You know,
there's crashes on the Russian mountains, the mountains over there. Yeah. Yeah.
Italy had crashes back in the 30s. And of course, the Germans came and said, yeah, we'll help you clean that up. we know what they started to do. Diana Pasulka talks about this a lot, that they're calls them gifts, or they're like gifts to us. And they just leave them out there. They go retrieve it. And then you have all the smarties go back and reverse engineer it. But I say this, and it goes back to the times of the ancient, is when you get all these engineers and physicists and all these smart brainiacs with a tech that is thousands and thousands of years ahead of us, how do you work with that? Well, that goes back to ritualistic magic. Magic is real, and they get the plans. I'm telling you.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. That's another rabbit hole.
Well, and who's teaching the magic?
It's old. It's been around forever. So that is.
It came down.
Yes.
It wasn't.
And when you make the magic and you make the contact with the other side of the magic, they give you the instructions.
Yeah. Yep.
At a cost.
Oh, of course. There's always a reason why they want us to have this. And
yes.
And I think we were watching that one show where they told the boys, you guys are just like destroying yourselves, and it's the human race is destroying itself because of your hierarchy. It's your hierarchy that filters it down to you. And they said if you, I don't know how to eradicate that part, you would be so much more advanced. But it's just the select few in the hierarchy suppresses your abilities to rise and to advance.
True.
And
yes.
I think, though, the world has woken up. I do feel that evil comes into play, and sometimes it wakes us up. Like when we had 2021, what happened in 2021? It woke us up. You couldn't help but being woke up. And we won't go back to that stage, because we're already awakened. So they thought that would take us out, et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of harm was done, but it woke up the people.
It had to happen for that.
Yeah. And so sometimes I think evil makes a play, and then good says, we're going to counterattack that.
Yeah.
And
there's got to be a lesson learned.
Yeah. You think you guys got it, but we got something higher going on.
And
does that make sense?
It does. It has to get worse before it gets better, kind of thing. It goes back to that. And patternization is so visibly apparent And if you look back, going back to the ancients, it's the same story. We do it all the time. And it's like nothing changes. If nothing changes, it's just a different time cycle. And that's part of the problem. But put a cell phone in a kid's hand, distract with advertisement. You keep it down so none of that advancement can happen.
And you don't know the subliminal messages happening also.
It's all energies.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of it.
And so there's those, you know, people like me, people like you, we deliver information for everyone to advance you, to make you think.
Perspective.
Yeah. And so then you decide what you believe and what you don't believe. But at least you're listening, you're waking up, and then you're maybe researching it yourself. Yeah.
There's so much info out there. There's so many podcasts that are high production that blows your mind. And it's like, oh, this is high production. This is a great podcast. Pay attention and discern, because it may be a great podcast. It's part of the presentation, but you'll see to where there's subliminal delivery to coerce you, or at least to get you to side. We're down the middle. We're sharing our homework and comparing notes and take it or leave it. And that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Brad, this was great.
Yes.
We had a slow start, people. And so hopefully that won't happen again. I think we got it rectified. But
we're tech issues are a little here and there, but I mean, so like and subscribe, please, and leave a comment and tell us what you want to hear about, and we will do the research. Robin and I are always all we're doing is research and reading books.
Reading.
Oh God. Yeah. And who do we got?
I've never read so much in my life.
I know.
So also to this week, Brad's coming to Boise.
Yeah.
So Brad's coming to Boise Thursday. And then we have rented a conference room. We're going to do on Sharon's show. And then
Keith Beard.
Huh?
Keith Beard.
Yes.
Sasquatch.
Well, that's going to be Sunday. So if we're going to have our first, I'm so excited. We're going to have our first Sasquatch.
Yes.
Keith Bearden. And he wrote the book. Oh, I don't have it here. Something in the forest at night. Anyway, he was like this hunter and out in the woods all the time. And then he started discovering the Sasquatch. And so he wrote a book on his discovery. And then he started researching it because he started seeing these things. And so it'll be, and then I just messaged him on Facebook. I said, hey, I bought your book in 2015. Would you like to be on our show?
And he said, sure.
He messaged me. He said, sure. I go, really? He goes, well, I'm a documentary in a week or so. So I'm going to be really busy. So can I come on next week? And I go, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
So Brad said yes. So he will be here. So Brad and I are going to try to figure out how to get everything online in this conference room. Hopefully we can figure
we'll get it. It's no problem.
Okay.
And so I'm surprised we haven't had a cryptid or a Sasquatch guy yet or girl on the show. We haven't really discussed the cryptids yet, and this is going to be exciting.
Yeah. So this is step one of it. And then who else did I? Oh, I messaged Tony Rodriguez, so we'll see what he says. Oh, he might be too big for us. I don't know.
Yeah, and then we got some stuff coming up in February and March that is going to be really good, and that's part of our work, is not just doing the homework and the reading, but we're reaching out to people, and surprisingly, they're like, yes, sure.
Yeah,
because they want to talk about this too. They don't care if it's a show that's just starting out or if it's a major production. They just want to tell the story.
And I think because they remember that they had to start out somewhere. You know, everybody started somewhere. And so, you know, we're just having a good time. We're enjoying talking to everybody that we've had on the show. Everybody that we've met are great people. And
they are. They're
and
humble.
I really consider them my friends afterwards. And we're just having the best time, you guys, doing the show. So we hope that you are excited as we're excited, and we're just going to keep plugging away because I'm liking it. I think Brad's
we're loving
liking
it.
it.
We're gonna that's why I'm going to Boise and get to see some mountains, and we'll actually be sitting next to each other and not split screened for this episode. So it's going to be fun.
Wild.
Yeah. And a Sasquatch. Talking about Sasquatch in Idaho, where they have Sasquatch, right?
Yeah, not in Boise. We're not
up north.
Yeah, you got to go up a little more. And the north part, like Sandpoint and stuff like that. Because I'm from Spokane, and then you have Coeur d'Alene, and then way up Sandpoint. And when I would drive to Sandpoint, it'd take like 2 hours. Most beautiful place you've ever seen. They get a ton of snow, so never go there in the wintertime. But
that's by the Washington border, right?
Yeah, and it's just absolutely amazing. They have the great shops. They have great eateries up there. They have this, you just drive through the forest, and all of a sudden this town evolves open. And they just have the best stuff up there. So
do you get to see wolves?
You see wolves up there. You probably would.
Oh. Sasquatch dominates in Colorado, where I live. Oh, I know. Yeah, Colorado for sure.
Layla, this is Layla that's talking.
Oh, okay.
Layla, your point of interest is just really intelligent. And yes, I actually was thinking of having a conference of my own in Colorado, where we had a cabin, and it's out in the middle of nowhere, and you can rent this cabin, and it has like 6 rooms, has a bathroom. That was the main thing. I want my bathroom. And then it has a kitchen, and then on the outside people could camp if they wanted to. So if more people came, so six people can stay in the lodging, and then the rest of people would be camping. But if you did it in the summertime, it'd be beautiful. And then I thought, that would just, a small group, maybe like 10 or so people would be fine. And then we would just do some classes, maybe Sasquatching, because Colorado is where it's at.
Or Dogman.
I don't want to do Dogman.
Oh,
no,
really?
I would love to hear more about Dogman. No, we had one in Boise. It was on the MUFON. I told you about that?
Yeah.
So I live here, and then you cross a main road, and then there's this park, and then next to the park is a river, and there's apartments, and it's just right. I could walk there. And so I was going through the MUFON, and someone from Boise reported seeing a Dogman, and there's a bridge, and then there's a light at the bridge, and he was out on his he was like on the 3rd level, and he was out smoking, and he was just looking at, there's something moving under the bridge. Well, of course we have people that are homeless, so he was just kind of watching it. And then it got out into the light and stood up. Its head was at the level of the bridge. He said the head was a dog, but the body, there was a body, and he was dressed in clothes. It was dressed in clothes though. And he's just like watching that. Yeah, he said it had clothes on.
Really? That's like a werewolf.
I know. And he said that we're going to get Cindy Carter on here too. We weren't able to get her on this month. But we're going to get Cindy Carter on. She said, we just have to hook up a date with Cindy. I didn't know she was into Dogman. I know she was Sasquatch. She's a Sasquatch whisperer, Cindy Carter.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And she's actually the one I told you that has that machine.
Yep. I'm familiar with it. Yeah, I know what it is.
And Cindy Carter did this. I can't remember the name of this energy machine, but she spends a few days directing this type of machine thing at you, and then she can read every day about you and where you're at in your energy. And I did it for Michael. I bought it for him for Christmas too. And on mine, she says, you are channeling here and you are channeling here. She could tell when I was channeling for my show or for the book. She could see it because I went through the roof in my astral travels. She goes, you just went way out. And she goes, you're probably channeling. And I go, oh my gosh.
There's no privacy.
You got it, Jen, 20 or Layla?
Yeah.
Because I think I talked about it because I was like blown away.
Oh, wow.
When I was feeling low, it showed like, oh, I don't feel, happy this day or something. Showed that. It's just like,
that's technology that's third party as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, remote viewing is a thought too. You were saying it's technically one of our abilities, but when you have it and you realize, oh, they're viewing you and you have the ability to do the same, you don't really have any privacy.
No, you don't want them to remote view you when you're in the shower.
Yeah.
No, I have remote viewed myself. Usually I do it through channeling. I call it channeling, but I think a lot of it's remote viewing. And when certain events happening in Canada, I totally went there and remote viewed. And then I was trying to work hard on scaring people. I know that's probably a bad thing to do.
Yes, it is.
And so Michael kind of knows the situation, but I really remote viewed and I really physically tried to change some things, some avenues and stuff. And
that'll backfire.
Yeah, I stopped doing it. I don't do it anymore. But yeah, that's when you kind of go down a rabbit hole that you might not get out of. So sometimes when you have these abilities, you have to be careful because you can use them and you might get caught in the backfire of it. So I don't
there's some things I don't share because I
don't remote view me.
People. No, it's not remote viewing. But yeah, it's like, okay, I know who you are, but I don't say anything.
Yeah, well, we don't have to tell everybody everything.
Nope.
But there's just situations that, and if I don't want to ever influence a person to do what I do, because
that's all self-discovery.
Yeah, that's just because I talk about it, you don't do it because.
Yeah, some of the stuff when I talk about it, they're like, well, how'd you find that? I'm like, oh, if I tell you, you're going to see some stuff that you're not going to be able to mind bleach away. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy responsible for your psychosis. So I'm like, you go find those doors and open them. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm just not going to tell you how I did it.
No, don't. Yeah, don't do that.
I don't.
And it's going to be interesting when Brad's here. I am going to show him how to use rods.
Yes.
I have a pair of rods for him. And I was going to use these. Hold on. Let me see if I can get my energy. Does it calm down? So usually when it does that, see how one's pointing to the side? Is someone's standing there that they're pointing to themselves. So this one's pointing straight ahead. This one's pointing over. Are you pointing to yourself? Mine are trained. You can train your rod to do anything. When they cross like this, that's a yes. You show me a no. That's a no when it hits my knuckle. And can you show me love? Can you show me love? Okay, you almost got it. Might be hard because we have electronics. So my rods cross this way, and that's love. And then the helicopter, I believe, it's going to do it, is excitement. That's excitement when it helicopters. That's like, hell yeah. So we're going to teach Brad this, and I'm going to give him his own rods. So hopefully see it saying yes to everything I say.
They're waiting for me.
Yeah, they are. And I'll have them energized for you, but you'll have to get your own energy. And I hope you can take them on the plane because they're copper.
I'm checking my luggage.
Okay, good. Because I'm going to have the shampoo and everything I have for you. I haven't sent it. I'm just going to give you everything when you're here.
Okay.
So can you put it in your luggage?
Yeah, plenty of room.
It's in a box.
And Leila wants to know if we can talk about QHHT. Yes, we actually have.
Who we have coming on that's going to do that?
We don't
Oh,
yet.
look at this.
But we
Layla, you got my rods excited.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You've got, yeah, I think it's okay if you say you got my rod excited. And if I said that, it might come out the wrong way. So, yes, Layla, we are actually discussing a QHHT guest to come on who's an author, and we just need to reach out to her because we said we would.
Yes. I think that's in the ball's in your court on that one. Or did you want me to reach out to her?
No, I can reach out to her. We just need to pick a calendar day.
Yeah, and then meet. But we're getting so booked with people. You guys, we're almost going to have,
we're getting busy,
all in February. We have speakers. We have people. And so I don't think we have, this is the only time that we have just for Brad and I to sit and talk and chat.
And Sunday we were going to do a Brad and Boise episode, but now that we've got Keith, the Sasquatch guy, coming on, it's going to be with him. So
yeah. So we're switching things up and kind of going around where we can get people. So it looks like we've been on a good long time, Brad.
Yeah.
I hope everybody enjoyed this. It was a very interesting subject matter.
Yes.
I hope we took it seriously enough because we know it's true.
Sorry for the jokes.
It's just, it was
my light
just,
went out.
Oh, it did. It's just a tongue in cheek.
It went out.
So it's time to go.
Yeah, it's time to go. And I think it's interference from other sources. It does that. To me, it's basically saying, Brad, it's basically saying, Brad, shut up.
Yeah. So it's kind of like my phone ghost. If we're talking about things that we're not supposed to talk about, my phone will shut off. Okay,
all
bye.
Right. Thank you, Layla.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Love everybody. Like, subscribe, leave comments, and we'll be back.
See you. Bye, Brad. Thank you. Bye.